Okay, we're gonna replace brake pads on a Chevrolet 2010 van, and this is a Duramax 6.6. All right, first we'll go over to our master cylinder. We'll first do that, and if it's full, you may want to just take your cap off. Let's see. Well, we do have quite a bit in here. Sometimes people will tend to fill a master cylinder up as it gets low, and that's because the caliper has actually drawed out because the brakes are wearing down. So I like to take the cap off, and I like to take some rads and just put right along on the side of it. Once you press the brake calipers, you push the pistons back in with the C-clamp. It's going to draw all your brake fluid back up to your reservoir here, and it's going to eventually come out if you have too much. So I like to put these rads up here because brake fluid, if it gets on paint and do not be removed, it can eventually eat up a paint job. So and not to mention the floor, it can definitely eat paint off the floor. All right, we'll go over to our brake caliper. Okay, what we need to do, we need to take this nut loose, as you can see, and we need to come down here, and we need to take this one loose right here. So you just have two nuts you have to take loose, and then we can swing the caliper, swing it back, and as you'll see momentarily. Okay, so we had the bottom bolt off, and he's working on the top bolt. It's just best to do that. Just slide the caliper right on, slide it back. Sometimes you have to take a screwdriver and just pry it back, but he's going to use his wrench. There you go. Okay, wash the hose. You definitely don't want to buy one of those. Okay.
Slide pins, okay.
And you want to make sure your slide pins are good to go and lubricated and free to move. And there you go. Okay. And we caught the brake shoes just in time. Let's see, I need to have a new one around here to show to you, but the new one will actually come out about this far. So it was definitely time to replace the pads. Now you want to make sure these pins are lubricated so that the caliper can move out, in and out freely. Okay, so right now he's going to draw the caliper in so we can check the caliper to see how free it is for it to go in. Hopefully it is. And we got to do this. We have to do this anyway to put the new pads on. And as you see, he's using a C-clamp to do that with. And you do not have to take your cap off your master cylinder if you choose not to. It'll just go right back in your master cylinder, the brake fluid. Okay, so now he's going to go get pads, and as you can see, that's pretty much the main part of it. Okay, this is the pin. You have two pins that the caliper will ride on, and you want to make sure that they are lubricated and they are free. And their grease most likely will come with the brake pads. You just make sure that you pull them out, and it pays to just make sure they lubed up, and that'll prevent the brake caliper from locking up too as well.
This is free. This is free.
So he said it's free. Awesome. And as you can see, the new brake pads are a lot thicker than the ones that you just pulled off.
I want to go back with that. Put the pins on top. Yeah.
And he's going to
make sure the safety guide is on
and
top.
That guide is for when it gets down that low, your brakes will start making a ringing, singing noise. It would just actually scrape on the rotor enough to make you realize you had to replace your brake pads. And just make sure your rubber boot is clear. And he's going to stick his pins in that are well lubricated, and you know that the caliper is free to move back and forth. And he'll just tighten up the bolts. So as he is tightening up the bolts, I want to show you the difference between the new caliper and the old caliper. I mean the new brake pad and the old brake pad. The difference. As you can see here. So caught it just in time. Okay, that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you
want.
want.
Hit the brake pedal and double check again, and it's good to go.
Okay.
All right, hit the brake pedal. It's good.
When the brake pedal hit?
No, it's already hit it, so.
Okay.
So it's good to go.
Now, if you happen to replace the caliper, of course, you will have to bleed it. And here's your bleeder port here, and of course, you know the procedure on that. You'll pump 2 or 3 times, and someone here will be on the outside will actually break it loose to allow air to come out. Or you can use a bleeder tube. Okay, so that's all you have to do, and just put your wheel back on, and just make sure your lug nuts are properly tight. So that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what you want.
That's it.
You got it?
All right.